Hello everyone, my name is LaPrecious and welcome to my channel, Let's Talk with LaPrecious. So today I'm going to talk to you about the whole Chris Brown situation and him not liking dark-skinned women and how my thoughts are going to pretty much conclude how I feel about the situation. So Chris Brown, his new album Indigo just came out. It's been all over the internet. People been checking it out, people been listening. And it was noticed by someone that in one of the lyrics it said he only screws black women with nice hair. Everybody flipped out. Everybody blew up. Everybody was like, he's colorist, racist, this, that, and the third. Tokyo Tony, not Tokyo Tony, my bad. Ooh, that was a bad comparison. But Tokyo Vanity, she pretty much reiterated how Chris Brown felt because she gave an account that her friend one time was at a club that Chris Brown was at and they would not let her in his section because she was dark skinned. And I remember watching a video of Lovely Tees where she covered the story and she said the exact same thing, that when she used to live in Los Angeles, she heard that Chris Brown does not like dark skinned women, and wherever he's at, he wants everybody on his team of women to be light skinned, mixed, racially ambiguous, or whatever flavor of woman he likes. And then I've even seen how a lot of people have gotten angry and upset that Kelly Rowland posted under one of his posts on Instagram of how we love you, when he posted how he was grateful for everybody buying his music and listening to it and supporting it. People dragged her. And then people have been talking about the cancel culture, whether we should cancel Chris Brown or not, colorism, and how so many black men are coming out saying that they don't like black women or dark skinned women. And here are my concluding thoughts about the whole scenario. I personally believe, and I always tie this to God or, my spirituality. So everybody knows when they watch my channel, God is going to be mentioned somewhere in my videos. But I really do believe that the reason why a lot of black men are saying that they don't like either black women or dark skinned women, some of it has to do with them wanting to have children that are not black or fully black. And some of it may have to do with how they've been raised. It's a known fact that in the black community, especially if you're a 90s baby, 80s baby, 70s baby, and further back, somewhere in your family, whether immediate or distant family or a relative or a friend of yours that was black, grew up hearing you have to be light skinned to be attractive, or you saw friends and relatives get more attention if they were light skinned, they had long hair, wavy hair, or how we say good hair, or you saw women having babies by men of other races that have light skinned kids and mixed kids. I saw it with my friends, people in the generation before me. They saw it in their families and in their friends. And I've heard of black people say, their grandmas would tell them or their mamas would tell them, don't bring nobody black home. Make sure you keep the look in the family, that light skin, mixed, good hair look in the family. And I've seen that. And that's probably where that comes from. Or some of these men, if they didn't come from backgrounds like that, then they want to have mixed kids and they don't want to have black children, and so on and so forth. Or if that's not the case, they just have some distaste or dislike for dark skinned or black women. Now, I'm not saying that this is right and I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I personally think that we as black women, we need to stop looking for validation from black men. And I really do believe that we need to stop trying to find our beauty or some type of worth from black men. Yeah, it's crazy and it's rude, disrespectful, however you want to call it, that someone from your own race is disrespecting you and putting you down. But unfortunately, that's the world that we live in. As African Americans, we came here as slaves. When we arrived here off the slave ships, we were already divided. You all know the story. When we came here as slaves, they would put us on the plank. Whatever black man looked the strongest to work in the field, he was picked. That could be your daddy, your husband, uncle, whomever he was, and your family was split. Same way with the women. If the women looked strong enough or they had the body or whatever, they would pick those women to rape, to have children with, and to pretty much either keep in the house or keep somewhere on the field. And that's how families were split. And by us being split up that way, you had the slaves who wanted to maintain their African roots and stay true to who they are. Because if you look at the black church and even a lot of the remedies that a lot of our black relatives used to teach us, especially if you grew up in the Southeast, some of those traditions and beliefs from Africa still, were practiced and believed. Then you had the blacks that grew up with the whites and they were able to pass as white or somehow fit in with the whites. And that's where we get Coon and Sambo from. They felt that being white was the way to be, so they assimilated to white ways and they wanted to reject their Africanness because it was seen as dirty, as inhumane, as something that wasn't normal, pretty much like they did with the Native Americans. Because even with the Native Americans, they made them assimilate into white American culture. They told them to cut their hair, they sent them to boarding schools, they made them speak English, they made them assimilate to Anglo-Saxon ways, and they pretty much tried their best to dilute their ethnicity. And they did the same thing with African slaves. And if it wasn't with, assimilation, you did have blacks who fled and went in with Native Americans. Some of them intermingled and mixed, but you had natives who owned slaves as well. And then you even had African, women who had sex with the white slave owners and had mixed babies and whatever. And they wanted to keep that lightness and fairness in the family because they knew that if their child was white or light, they would have a better way of living. But we even saw with the Queen movie that Halle Berry played in, that was about Alex Haley's, I believe, great great grandmother who was a mixed slave, because her mama was a slave, but she was half African and half Cherokee Indian, and her daddy was a slave owner. And we saw how difficult her life was because she tried to pass as white. She put the powder on the face, told everybody she was white. And then when one of the slave owners or one of them white men started becoming interested in her and tried to date her, in that scene in the bedroom, he slapped her and raped her and then tossed her out. And then she was crying to the slave she came up with, but she ran away. And she says, I'm a Negro, I'm black. And she says, I'm not white. And, she wanted to be accepted. And, you have mixed children now, light skinned people, whatever, but sometimes they have it good and sometimes they don't. And I just really do see that we're, as a community, the black community, we're kind of going backwards in a way, because I feel like we've come a long way from slavery and Jim Crow and the civil rights movement, but it seems like a lot of our minds are still stuck on the plantation with the way that we see black people, the way that we see each other, the way that we see dark skin, brown skin, light skin. And it's as if now we're still trying to make it, even though we're free and we no longer live under oppressive rules and regulations and laws. I mean, it's not 100% better, but at least, we're not slaves anymore and we don't have to, enter a bus through the back or restaurants through the back and go to crappy bathrooms or go to crappy schools and not be able to learn like everybody else. So I believe that's where that's coming from. And now I'm about to explain my connection to God. I remember watching the episode of Power of Living with Bishop Bronner. Due to me being Christian, I have a strong discernment, and I only watch preachers who preach the word and its authenticity and that speak from the Spirit. And I believe that Bishop T.D. Jakes, sometimes he preaches from the Spirit, but I believe more Bishop Bronner that preaches from the Spirit, because everything that God speaks to me, he speaks it through him in the sermons that he preaches, and I'm able to confirm God's word most of the time when he's speaking it to me. And he even said the reason why God wants men to hunt women out is because that's the way of a man determining how his children will look, or the woman he wants to have children with. And that's why I believe that in Chris Brown's situation, he's pretty much not dating dark-skinned black women, because due to him being mixed, to those of you who don't know, his mama is mixed. I put it to you that way, because if y'all have seen his mama, she almost looks like a white woman, but you could tell she has some black mixed in her somewhere. And Chris Brown, I think, is from Tappahannock, Virginia. And there is an area in Virginia, I learned this a long time ago, that when the slaves were freed or the slaves escaped, they went to some town and everybody there had mixed in with the whites and the Native Americans, and most people in that area are mixed black people. They're light skin, blue eyes, or green eyes, hazel eyes, long blonde hair, or some type of, mixed hair texture. And I think that's might have where he came from. And so Chris Brown, I mean, who knows if this was taught to him? Who knows if he was raised to only date light skinned women or only taught to believe that light skinned women are pretty. But I mean, he may just be dating light skinned black women because he wants to keep that lightness and that color in his family. Because when Chris Brown grows his hair out, it's, silky, curly, mixed type of hair. His daughter, I don't remember her name right now, so I'm not even gonna name it. But he had his little girl by I think I believe she's Hispanic. Her last name is Guzman, and Guzman is a Hispanic last name. So I believe his first baby mama is Hispanic. His second baby mama, he's supposed to have a baby by, I don't know what she is. She looks like she could be Blasian or she could be mixed, something that ain't black. That's all I say. And and that's just my conclusion on it. That's what I think that Chris Brown is thinking, and I think that's why he believes the way that he does. But on the same token, I do not think that it's okay to bash people that you don't prefer and to bash people that you don't like and to just talk dirt about people because you don't prefer them, because everybody has the right to like what they like and to be into what they're into, but at the same time don't bash other folks because they're not like what you want them to be, because that's why you have so many people that hate themselves and getting all this surgery and skin bleaching and dating this person that have mixed kids and stuff, because people won't let people be, and people won't leave well enough alone when they're with their people they want to be with, but for whatever reason still feel the need to pick on people that's different than them. And I just don't understand that. And I actually unfollowed Chris Brown when he did post that, because I'm the type of person where if you do something that I don't like, and if you do something that is disrespectful to other people, and I'll cancel you. Yes, I'm a part of this cancel culture. If you do something that's wrong against somebody else, I'm not gonna listen to you, because I just feel like that lets me know who you are, and I don't even see the point of me supporting you when I'm brown skinned, and it doesn't make sense to me. A lot of people were even saying that you had dark skinned black women that were defending Chris Brown, and I just don't see how a person can know that this person does not like you, wouldn't even let you in the club with that or in their section, and wouldn't even care if you got an infection or died from the smell of them pissing and pooping on you. So I'm like, y'all giving this man money, y'all coming to his concerts and stuff, and he's taking y'all money, but he ain't even letting y'all get into the club that required the money he made for him to get into that club. So it's like, I just don't understand how people nowadays can love people that hate them. And Chris Brown is not the only person, that thinks like that and that believes in that. But I just believe that as black women, we have got to stop looking to black men to validate us and to worship us and uphold us and whatnot, when we have plenty of other people that love black women. I've talked to white men that love dark-skinned black women. I've talked to Hispanic men that love dark-skinned black women, and not all of them see us as a sexual fetish, because yes, you do have men of other races, including black men, that do see dark-skinned women sometimes as a sexual fetish. But I think instead of us always clinging to these black men that are making it known that they don't like dark-skinned black women or black women in general, and we need to start paying attention to the people that like us, because no matter how many videos we make or rants we make or complaints we make, these people are still going to do whatever they want to do, because at the end of the day they're going to say, yeah, I don't like dark-skinned black women, yeah, that's not my preference. But at the end of the day, no matter how many times you cancel me, ran off on me, or go off on me, I'm still going to have people that love me. They're going to put money in my pockets. So I believe that if this is not going to spark something in Chris Brown to change. And he's proud of what he said and what he's done. And I just feel like just leave him alone and go to other artists that respect us and uplift us and pump us up and whatnot. And just quit dealing with these folks that, don't like us. So I hope you all like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section, subscribe to my channel, and have a good day.